Hi, I'm Randy Brown, your YRA-Year athlete instructor. Today's lesson is taking batting practice from underhand and overhand soft toss. It's really important that you do this because it's in a controlled environment. You get a lot more strikes and it's a lot easier for you to repeat swings and track a ball through space and really focus on hitting a ball where it's pitched. So there's 9 key points. Number 1, when you step in, always have a game plan. Number 2, you want to make sure you get in the same hitting stance, same way, same spot every time. Number 3, you want to have a soft and quiet load. Number 4, make sure you have proper weight transfer throughout your swing. Number 5, you want to control your hip and shoulder turn, make sure they stay together. Number 6, proper hand path to the baseball. Number 7, focus on certain contact points. Number 8, at contact, make sure you have good extension. And number 9, make sure you finish high and follow through. So in this drill, the overhand and underhand soft toss, it's real important that you get a good feel for the timing and the release point of the pitcher. So the pitcher's going to throw a couple underhand, and I'm going to get in a rhythm where I'm going to take it and work on my takes with a soft, quiet approach, and I'm going to focus on the release point and get my timing down. So as I get set in my normal stance, I'm going to get up here, I'm going to bend, lean, lift. Now the pitcher's going to soft toss me a couple underhanded, and I'm going to work on my takes. Notice how I'm working on a soft, quiet approach. I got my bat angle up. He's going to throw me another one underhand. Nice and soft and quiet. So now he's going to throw me a few that are overhand, which is a little different. I got one coming from under. Now it's coming over. It's a little different ball flight. So it'll allow me to pick up that release point. Good. Tracking that ball all the way in. So when you start out, want to make sure you take a couple just to get a good feel for the release point and the timing. So going back to point number 1, which is my game plan. Every time you step in, you want to have an idea of what you're working on. So today, I've had a little bit of trouble on balls middle in. I'm going to work on the pitch inside so I can focus on getting my hands and getting the barrel out front, or I may need to work on some balls going the other way. I want to get my release point or my contact point on the outside part of the plate. So every time you step into the box, you want to make sure you have something you're working on. All right? So in point number 2, as I get in my stance, I always want to do it the same way every time. After I take a swing, say I may have fallen off balance, I'm going to come set and I'm going to do everything the same. I'm going to bend, lean, lift. Get in the same spot the same way every time. It's real important that you do that. Point number 3, now I'm getting ready to take a swing. I want to make sure as I get into my stance, as that pitch is on its way, I want to make sure I take a nice, proper, quiet, soft step and load my hands. As you can see, my weight's back, 60-40, my heel's slightly off the ground. I took a stride on the inside ball of my foot, lead elbows down, establishing a good bat angle. It's real important that it's nice and quiet because it allows you to see the ball better. The more rushed my load is, the more my timing may be a little bit off, the more I may jump out at the baseball, cause for a miss hit. And point number 4, as I get to my load, as I start my swing, I definitely want to make sure I have a good weight transfer, backside into the front side, hip turn, back elbow starting to drive, and take my hands to the baseball. And in point number 5, as that is happening, as I'm turning, notice how my back shoulder and my back hip, my front shoulder and my front hip stay together. I definitely don't want to slide them out. That's going to cause me to lift in the swing. And as that's happening, my hands now are beginning to lead the swing. And then there, number 6, they're staying inside the ball. And now my proper hand path and takes my barrel to the baseball. And in point number 7, like I mentioned before, my game plan, I'm working on some balls that are middle in. So as I start my swing, I want to make sure I take the barrel to that contact spot right there. Always making sure I see the baseball and see it again. See a lot of kids that are watching the baseball, and once the ball's being in the contact zone, their eyes are still looking out at the pitcher, or they may be looking out towards third base because their shoulder pulled off, or if you're left-handed, out to right field. So I always want to make sure I see it and see it again at impact. And from here, and in point number 8, I want to make sure I get extended out through the middle of the zone. And then point number 9, when I finish, make sure I stay balanced, finish high, keeping the head still with my chest in the center of my body, front knee slightly bent with the weight getting through, back foot finish. So I'm going to demonstrate a few. So the first two right here are going to be underhand soft toss right here. Now in that particular swing right there, I felt it. I got a little bit out front. Every swing you have to make an adjustment. You can't just swing to swing. So I have to stay back, let the ball get to me a little bit more. I'm going to bend, lean left, making sure I stay balanced. Now I can be a top hand release or I can keep two hands on. It doesn't matter just as long as you make sure you stay through the baseball. Now I'm going to go through the overhand. If the pitch is bad, take it and focus on your takes. Last one. Nice and quiet on the take. Fastball's a little bit inside. Got the barrel out front. So remember these 9 points. Number 1, when you step in, always have a game plan. Number 2, you want to make sure you get in the same hitting stance, same way, same spot every time. Number 3, you want to have a soft and quiet load. Number 4, make sure you have proper weight transfer throughout your swing. Number 5, you want to control your hip and shoulder turn, make sure they stay together. Number 6, proper hand path to the baseball. Number 7, focus on certain contact points. Number 8, at contact, make sure you have good extension. And number 9, make sure you finish high and follow through. And that's how you take batting practice from overhand and underhand soft toss.